Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Radha Raman Ju ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your time. So I'll speak for about 25-30 minutes and then ask different devotees to speak for a few minutes. Thank you for lending me your ears. I'll just give you an idea of the topic before going into the kind of stream of consciousness approach. The theme is about the children of our spiritual fathers, my brothers and sisters, Srila Gurudev's sons and daughters. And there are various ways of approaching spiritual life and service. So I'll speak on two kinds of main approaches. I think it's important for us to understand that a lot of the misunderstanding that occurs is because people are very attached to their way. And they don't always understand that there's more than one way to serve. And so what I'm speaking about is, what is the way our Srila Gurudev and our Srila Prabhupada want us to serve. And so the class is not, please don't think, it's not about me. The fact that I'm speaking is not very important. It's about you all. Not only you who are here, but you who may watch online. This is why I'm talking about different approaches. Is it about the speaker? Is it about the hearers? It's about the hearer. It's about the devotees. We have one object of worship. Sri Krishna, Srimati Radhika, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are one tattva. They are our object of worship. Anyone who brings us to them, they are also our object of worship, but it's the devotees that are of the utmost significance. Because we're all, even those who are bringing us to Krishna, they're also devotees of Krishna. And therefore we are all equal in our principle as eternal servants of God. And so I wanted to meditate a little bit about the mood of our Srila Swami Prabhupada and our Srila Gurudev, and how we can understand how they serve together very beautifully, like Ganga Jamuna. How do Ganga and Jamuna serve together? Very well. Hare Krishna. Okay. So just to cut through the chit-chat, the title is Lambs in the Lap of Sri Guru and Lions in the Service of Sri Guru. Lambs in the lap of Sri Guru and lions in the service of Sri Guru. When Srila Swami Prabhupada came to the West, he came with a mandate. When Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada began preaching with a mandate. Fulfill the Manovishta, heart desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How can you do that? Addressing his sons and daughters, Srila Gurudev said, I don't want you to be like kittens and mice. I want you to be like lions. And so, how can you, if we look at Like as I said, a lot of this isn't prepared, but there's a theme. But if we look at the Wizard of Oz, the lion had to be reminded that he is a lion. Sometimes we need to be reminded of who we are. So like I said, this class isn't about me or what I'm saying. I'm trying to remember Srila Gurudev, and I'm telling how I see you. That's it. This isn't about what I'm doing in New York or what I'm preaching or this center, that center. It's not about any of that. Tree will show its own fruits. I don't need to speak about the fruits of the tree. I'm not here to speak about the fruits of the tree. You'll know. I'm here to say how I see you. As sons and daughters of Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada. When Srila Swami Prabhupada came to the West, how he preached, how he engaged his sons and daughters, and how very quickly this Krishna consciousness movement spread throughout the whole world. So it's a beautiful meditation on being a son or being a daughter and how to please our spiritual fathers. Pleasing them doesn't mean how we think we should do it. How do they want us to serve? That is service, pleasing the object of your service. So how do you please your father? Ask your father. And if you want to find out, then go and see what he said to his sons and daughters. So there's different approaches. Srila Swami Prabhupada came with a revolutionary approach. And so that's the approach we're speaking about and how we can harmonize that with Srila Gurudev's mood as a continuation of Srila Swami Prabhupada's mission. In 1968, when he came back to India, after for his first couple years of preaching in the West, he said, now I have so many sons and daughters. In 5 or 6 or maybe 10 years, I want you all to become spiritual masters. Public lecture, and written in his letters. This is the different approach. How I see you is I see you as sadhus. In 40, 50 years from now, people are going to be coming and saying, oh, you are a disciple of Srila Swami Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Wow. I wasn't fortunate to be in his presence. I've heard so much. I've read so much. Can you tell me about him? I feel connected to him through you. I feel connected to him through you. Why? Quality of the fathers and the son and the daughter. So now this is the difference of opinion. Are we lion or are we lamb? We're both. We have nothing. We are worthless and insignificant. Humility is the ornament of a Vaishnava. But what is real humility? Not false humility. False humility is a form of pride, masquerading as humility. Following the order of Guru, that is true humility. Why am I saying this? Because it's been a meditation for me. And meditating on Srila Gurudev and the Vaishnavas and how to please them, and seeing what pleases them and what displeases them. What pleases them is service with courage, with boldness, with humility, with love, but understanding who you are as a jiva, as an atma, as part and parcel of Sri Krishna. The expansion of the Shakti of the Supreme Lord. Bhargo Devasya Dhimhi. When we do our Gayatri mantra, we're worshipping the Lord. You have to be divine to worship what is divine. Otherwise you can't do bhakti. You can't chant Harinam. You can't do your Gayatri. Na deva deva marchayat. So you're devas. You have godly qualities. Daiva Asura Sampad Yoga, 16th chapter. What are the qualities of the devas? What are the qualities of the asuras? You are devas. Humility. But the point is, what is Swami Prabhupada's instruction? He said, study. Learn about this culture of bhakti and teach it to others. Doesn't mean you have to take on the airs and the position and all that pomp and festivities around it. No. Jare dheke tare kaho Krishna upadesh. That's why I'm telling you, I see you as sadhu, because you're acting as sadhus. You're dressed as sadhus. When you go and you distribute Gurudev's books, you're going there as a welfare worker. You have something to give. You have Gurudev to give because he's in your heart. So now we may argue, sadhu or not sadhu? Sadhu. What is the evidence? Krishna's words. And Gurudev's words. Sarva Bhuta Hridaya Munimanatosmi. Anyone who's Gurudev's disciple, Gurudev is in your heart. Otherwise, you're not a disciple. If Gurudev is in your heart, what does it mean if he's in your heart? If you have one fragment of a particle of love for Gurudev, he's sitting in your heart. Without that, you could not perform any bhakti, bhajan, kirtan. When we see the drama last night, that was performed by sadhus. Sadhu doesn't mean to be puffed up and think I'm a sadhu. It means to love Guru and Krishna. However much. Svasadhu krityam vibudashriya. When Krishna, who did Krishna call sadhus? Rishis, Maharshis in Braj? No. Simple village girls. Napare ham niravadyu samyujam svasadhu krityam. Oh sadhus, I cannot repay you. I am indebted to you. This is Krishna's mercy. Guru's mercy is to give us service, like we heard. Showing so-called incompleteness is mercy to give us chance to serve and become connected. But we yet don't take that as an excuse not to serve and to forget who you are. Take responsibility. Advance in bhakti. That's what Swami Prabhupada wanted. Not that it becomes like a cheap imitation process. He said, study. He gave you 5 or 10 years. Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Sastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta. He said Bhakti Vedanta is not just a title for sannyasis. Swami Prabhupada received Bhakti Vedanta title as a householder. And he said, I want all my sons and daughters to inherit this title of Bhakti Vedanta. You can read it. What does it mean? Jare dheke tare kaho Krishna upadesh. How can you propagate the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu if you're a mouse or a kitten? You're a lion. But in the lap of your guru, you are a lamb. That means understand your potential and live up to it as best you can in this life. In a simple way. It doesn't have to be super dramatic. Find your unique quality with which you can serve and do it wholeheartedly. It doesn't have to be some kind of big show. Already what you're doing, like we heard last night, in India there's no drama plays like there are in New Braj. I've never seen them. And I've been there since 1996. Every year in Kartik. I never saw a drama like I saw last night. Nothing ever brought tears to our eyes like we saw the drama last night. Understand who you are. It's not about being proud. It's about being humble. But you're still the son and daughter of Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Who are they? So this is our approach. What is our approach? There's a certain kind of good ego. Radhika dasi jadi hoy abhiman sigra nilai tava gokulakan. You want to find Krishna? You need a certain kind of conviction. I am the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. Abhiman. There's good and bad in everything. Fire can create, fire can destroy. But without fire, you can't cook food and you can't digest food. So some fire is necessary. Radhika dasi jadi hoy abhiman sikra milai tava gokulakan. If you have that mood, Gurudev, once someone said, I'm so fallen, Gurudev. I feel so, I don't chant enough, I don't this enough. Gurudev said, okay, fine, that's your opinion. What do you want? Oh, Gurudev, I want to be the maid servant of Srimati Radhika. Gurudev said, Sadhu. Sadhu means very good. You have a very good aspiration. You judge a person by their ideal. Gurudev said in his lectures, don't chase your shadow. Anarthas, anarthas, anarthas. Chasing your shadow. Doesn't matter. Walk towards the light. Your shadow will recede and be in the background. Anarthas are useless, inconsequential things. Temporary aberrations. What did Rupa Goswami say? Drishta subhava janita. Bubbles and foam and mud. Why are you looking at that? Look at Brahmadravatvam. What is Jiva Tattva? You are Jiva. What is the nature of the Jiva? Krishna's Angsa. But my Vamsa, Krishna says, you are my part and parcel. So you are part and parcel of Krishna. Remind yourself that. You are not the body, but what are you? Anarthas is useless, insignificant, inconsequential things. You have met a pure devotee, that means you're on the path back to Godhead. Anarthas are irrelevant. Vaishnavas told me, senses are mundane. Ignore the sense, useless things. Engage them in service. Engage your life and your energy in Krishna's seva. Everything becomes transcendentalized. Why? Because you become spiritualized. You achieve your, as we heard from Sripad Bodhayan Maharaj, achieve your divine form. Why not? That's what Swami Prabhupada is saying. Learn how to, what is the best way to advance? So Prabhupada said, I want you to become spiritual teachers. He gave you 5 or 10 years. You should think you have 5-10 years. But you're already doing it, so don't worry. Why? Simply pass out Gurudev's books. Speak about Gurudev, speak about Prabhupada. It's very simple. It's not a difficult thing. Shivananda Prabhu Sadhu.
Hare Krishna.
Your humility is evidence of this. You are Sadhu. Vishnu Prabhu Sadhu. Everyone here is Sadhu. Because you met Srila Gurudev. Or you met someone who met Srila Gurudev. And the power of that, one spark, one word of Gurudev has entered your ears. That process has begun. Mama Virya Samvido. The power of Krishna is in the word of the sadhu, and that is injected through the ear. What we heard from Siddhanti Maharaj. The ears are the channel to the heart. 2 ears makes the heart. So the words of Sri Guru have entered through your ears into your heart. The process, the revolutionary process of bhakti has begun. So therefore, if we are timid and weak, Bhagavan Gurudev said, those who are timid, weak, and cowardly cannot serve the mission. And if you see how people came to them, came to Bhaktisiddhanta, came to Param Gurudev, came to Prabhupada, very quickly, Mukam Kuroti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Kiram. By their power, they made iron into gold. That is the process of Diksha. In Gaudiya Kantahar it said, Diksha means the spiritual alchemy. So if you're practicing your Diksha mantras, you're becoming divine. So every day chant your Diksha mantras properly. Every day chant Harinam properly. Our mission motto is beautiful verses of Srimati Radhika and Prem Samput. It's very sweet. What I want to say is, to be a lion truly is only possible if you have real love in our lion. We're not interested in tyrants and aggressors. No destructive fire. Vaishnav Agni. Vaishnav fire. When we do our yajna, we invoke Vaishnav Agni. Creative fire. And so how can you act with humility and love for Sri Guru? A lamb in his lap. And then, oh Gurudev, tell me, what should I do? And then be his kinkari. What does it mean? What does a kinkar or kinkari mean in Sanskrit or in Bengali? What is the needful? What to do? That's how Srila Prabhupada built his mission. When we're transcribing his lectures, South Africa and other places, so many places, simple person would come, Gurudev, I want to serve you, I have this business, I'll give you some money. I want to do this business, that business. He said, okay, you can do like that. If you really want to serve me, give up everything and take sannyas and preach my mission. You don't have to take the external symbol. Take the internal conviction. How much of my day, because this is the question now. Prabhupada said, I want you to become a spiritual teacher. How to do that? You become a disciple. Always be a disciple, be a das. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada would say, dasoham, I am a disciple, I'm a servant. We're in a disciplic lineage, not a guru lineage. Disciplic lineage. Disciplic succession. If we look at the early Christian era, after Christ left, it was his disciples that propagated his mission and his glories around the world. Most of them were martyred. Why? Because they were opposed by the establishment. They were opposed by the establishment. The government, the other religious groups. Why? There's another thing to speak about. Different perspectives, different approaches. My way is the highway, your way is wrong. They talk about this in psychology. If I can't be successful, at least I'll stop you from being successful. So envy is a form of pride, but it's insidious because it's weak. And so if you're weak, you have to act in a very crooked, snake-like way. And it's a form of pride. Matsarya, more dangerous than pride. Pride can be utilized. Radhika dasi jadi hoya biman sikrita nelai tava gokula khan. That I am Srimati Radhika's dasi. How are we Srimati Radhika's dasi? How are you our sadhus? I'll tell you. How are you Radhika dasi? Because you're Guru das and Guru dasi. Then you are Radhika dasi. What is the evidence? No one is directly Radhika's dasi. Only Rupa Manjari. Rati Manjari prays. Oh, Rupa Manjari. Tambularpana Pada Marjana. When will you give me the remnants of your service? Rupa Manjari is Radha Dasi. The rest of us, you're Das, Anudas, Anudas, Anudasi. Srila Gurudev is Manjari. You're his disciple. What is the story, Keka? You want to tell it? You ask Gurudev, how do I know I'm this? Give her the mic. Sadhu. Tell the story.
I asked Gurudev about Lakshmi Devi, how she's praying to be in the Ras Leela, but she can never attain it. Why is she praying for something she can never attain? And Gurudev didn't directly answer the question, but he said, oh, you should know that it is written, he said, from the beginning, it is written on your heart, Palyadasi. So Gurudev was showing here how this is just...
He said it to you specifically, right? How do I know?
Yeah.
What did you ask him?
I said, why is Lakshmi Devi praying for something she can't attain? And he, by his way of answering, was saying, oh, it is written in your heart like in a book. And he wrote in the air.
Speaking to you.
Speaking to me.
Yes. Speaking to you. It's in your heart. So how do you realize that? That is the work of this life. Therefore you are sadhu. Why? Because your potential is as Srimati Radhika's maidservant. So therefore, that's why Prabhupada wanted us to be bold. What does it mean to be bold? Courageously act forward, walk forward. This class is not about the past. A lot of people, I want to come to the ashram and talk about the 60s and the 70s and all the problems since then. All the good stuff and all the bad stuff. I said, I do not care. I don't care. I care about today, and then I care about the next day. I don't care about the future or the past. I care about this moment. Don't talk to me about the past or the future. Gurudev's in my heart. I don't know you're here about the past.
don't need to hear about the past. Act in times that are with thee in progress, these shall call. So therefore, Swami Prabhupada gave us some time, but he said you should preach. Because otherwise, my point is this. Now we're how long since the Western mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to blossom? Like 50, 60 years. Nothing. The West is a dangerous place with dangerous people. If they can harness that and use it in service, become a lamb in the lap of Guru, I am your kitten. But in the world, that kitten is a very dangerous. There's a story, I won't go into it, but there's a story of the Sringadev who appears as a cat, as a kitten. It's a beautiful story. It's published in Krishna Katamrita Bindu. There was a demon that was a mouse. And to attack that demon and kill it, the Sringadev appeared as a cat. The Sringadev as a cat is still Nishringadev. In the lap of your guru, you're a kitten, lamb. But in the world, you are lions. This is not my words. Did he say it or not?
Yes.
Did he say it or not?
Absolutely.
Yes? So own it. With your brothers and sisters, with your sons and fellow family members, don't use your power against each other. Creative, Vaishnav Agni, creative power. Therefore we say, honor all living entities. Don't harm anyone. Because power is a dangerous thing. But don't act from envy. Because that is a worse disease than pride. When Swami Prabhupada came to the West, many were envious and tried to destroy it in an insidious fashion as a form of pride. Oh, why is he more successful than me? Break the faith of the followers, then good. No one following, then, Akela Bhagavan, alone. Nirvishesh Nirvikar. Destroy the faith of the followers. Oh, you are useless, everyone is useless, this is bogus, what they're teaching is bogus. Right? Envy leads to aparad. Vaishnava aparad comes from envy. And Vaishnava aparad, that's the only thing that can really halt your progress. Halt your progress. And the Srimad Bhagavatam says there's no risk of being unsuccessful in the path of bhakti. And there's the highest possible reward. Bhagavad Gita Krishna says the smallest performance of bhakti is never lost, but it can become covered. Mad elephant offense. What does that mad elephant come from? Envy, and it's a form of pride. And therefore there's different, either it's misunderstanding or politics. So people won't understand, that's fine, maybe there's misunderstanding. Aparad is also not an easy thing. I don't think it's so easy to commit Vaishnava aparad. Vaishnava aparad is when you know Vaishnav, what is the philosophy, when you actually know it and you're a madhyam and you commit Vaishnava aparad, very dangerous. Kanishta's Vaishnava aparad is not so easy. Madhyam committing Vaishnava aparad, very dangerous. That fire will destroy your spiritual life. Therefore, Madhyam is always in the service of Uttam. Never take envy in your heart. Swami Prabhupada was opposed. Therefore he said, don't associate with many of my God brothers. Why? Different strategy, different approach. Everyone should fall at the feet of the Acharya. Yes, Prabhupada said you're all future Acharyas. That's Prabhupada's approach. That's Prabhupada's approach. That's how you make a worldwide mission. Lion-like Acharyas. Acharyas are very simple. Prabhupada said in that same lecture, he said it's a very simple thing. Preach Krishna, what he says in the Gita, what he says in the Bhagavatam. Don't separate it from all of the external things. Just the quality of it. What did Mahaprabhu? Mahaprabhu told an ordinary village person, Amar Agyay Guru Hoy Tari Desh. Ordinary person. Go out and preach. Take away all the surroundings of it. Vedic Vaishnav culture is the culture of respect. You bathe the feet of your parents. You touch their feet every day. Western cultures, who are you? So we're not following Western culture. We're Westerners, but we're following Vedic culture, Vaishnav culture. So learn to respect each other. You should be ready to bathe. Jadu Thakur, famous story of Mahaprabhu. He was given, there was a Vaishnava of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu wouldn't give his Charnamrita to anyone. When he would go to Jagannath Puri, they would wash his feet, and he would have Govinda dry up every drop, and then he would leave, and then anyone would go into Jagannath temple. One person in history got to take the Charnamrita of Mahaprabhu at that Jagannath spot. And who was it? It was the devotee who would, in a secret way, he would give a mango to, he would go to cobblers. He would go to leather workers, but simple Vaishnavas, and give them a mango. Oh, I give this to your Thakurji. They would eat it, they would throw out the pit. He would hide outside in the jungle. When they left, he would go through the garbage, take it, and suck it. Yep. Why? Because they're sadhu. So we think sadhu is only the acharya. No. Sadhu is the devotees. Gauda Bhakta Brinda. What does that mean? Anyone is a follower of Mahaprabhu? Yes, you are. Why not? Humility. What? How are you going to preach the mission of Mahaprabhu? Who's going to do it? If not you? Who's going to continue the mission of Srila Gurudev if not you? So why not you? If you don't, you'll be left behind. You won't be. You're always there. But Gurudev is most pleased with those. Father wants good sons and daughters. That's what Father wants. Father wants good sons and daughters. So therefore, I tell you this verse of Srimati Radhika, that's our mission motto. Very beautiful. Prem Samput. Anyone read Prem Samput? Verse 54 and 55. This is our motto. Krishna comes to criticize himself, disguised as a Gandharva. Speaks a long time about how bad of a person he is. Srimati Radhika listens, yes, whatever you have to say, say it, get it out. When it's my turn, I'll speak. Why? Krishna wants her to say something, but first he says, okay, you clean out your own storage so you can hear something. Your heart is full of garbage. Bring it out, then listen. Then you can hear something. So Radhika says, okay, Krishna, you've spoken. Now it's my turn. Radhika says, now I'll tell you about real love. She says, love, verse 54, you can check it. Love is like a lion. Why in all our Gaudiya Maths do we have a lion and an elephant? Destroying atheism, but with love. That lion is the lion-like love of Srimati Radhika. Srimati Radhika says, love is like a lion. Any obstacle that comes before it, it devours and is strengthened by it. And then she says, she specifically mentions elephants. That's why I say the lion and the elephant we see in our line. She said, any elephant-like obstacle that comes in front of it, love will completely devour like a lion. She says, obstacles from family members, obstacles from one's beloved, obstacles from the planetary influences. Oh, my astrology is not good for my Guru Seva. I don't have good astrology. Obstacle from the planetary alignments. Obstacle from your own mind, your own senses, whatever obstacle is there. Love devours it. And then the next verse she says, even more bold. Srimati Radhika revealing her love. She says, love completely disregards dog-like obstacles. So you should ask yourself in your life when you spend time on something, oh, someone is criticizing. This is a dog-like obstacle. Why waste time on it? It's not about energy. Why waste time on dog-like obstacles? She says, love doesn't waste time on them. Then she says, love is like a burning lamp. The darker the situation, the more effulgent the love, the lamp. It never goes out. And then she says, love exhibits pride. Like a lion's pride. What is that pride? You are mine. This is Srimati Radhika. We're in Radhika's party. Radha Paksha Chadi, Je Jan Se Jan, Je Bhabe Se Bhabe Thake. Amito Radhika Paksha Patisada Kabunahi. We're in Shrimati Radhika's part. Radha Paksha. Gurudev was opposed. Was Gurudev not opposed? Other Gaudiya Mats, he's not even welcome in many. ISKCON banned from every temple. Kedar Prabhu in Maui, he said he was the one who arranged the Maui festival, Camp Bakusa. And someone was telling him about Gurudev. Oh, okay, another Prabhupada has come. He said, how do I know he's Prabhupada? He gave him a picture, he looked at the picture, and then he said, okay, what is he doing? Is he preaching? He said he's been banned from every ISKCON temple. Oh, I'll definitely invite him. He must be very special. So don't mistake opposition for something isn't bona fide or not. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada said, Vox populi is always wrong, right or left. Vox Dei is right. And it's unpopular opinion. Popularized over time, but then perverted over time as well. So therefore it has to be continually reborn. Gurudev was opposed. We will also be opposed, undoubtedly. I'm not talking about myself though. I will be opposed though. That's not the point. We don't worry about dog-leg obstacles. We have life in our heart, blood in our veins. How can we act to please Srila Gurudev? Srila Gurudev said, I want you to serve and preach like the disciples of Srila Swami Prabhupada. Very humbly. You look at Prabhupada disciples in those days, so humble. But Jayananda Prabhu and people like that, how did they serve? How did they establish the mission? Oh, now it's show's over, close up shop. The Western movement was only supposed to be for 50 years. Gurudev, Prabhupada, and then it's over. Close up shop, go home. We're 50 years in. Wait for 500 years, then see what it is. You know, your great-great-great-great-grandkids, your great-great-great-great-grandkids, how are they going to be serving the mission? Therefore, you teach them to be like lions. That's how you preach. Our line is one of lions. Param Gurudev Acharya Keshari. Gurudev said, I am my father's son, therefore I'm also a lion. So sometimes we have to be reminded who we are. I'll tell you personally, please don't mistake, but ultimately it doesn't matter. But try to understand what I'm trying to say. The more I go against the order of Vaishnav in timidity, the more they're displeased. The more I serve the order of Vaishnav and Gurudev, the more they're pleased. I know this from personal experience. What is the order of Guru? Why did he tell sons and daughters? Brahmachari doesn't matter. Your heart is for service of Sri Gurudev. Married or unmarried, that's inconsequential. Gopis or sannyasis. Understand the manobishta of being brahmachari means your heart beats for the service of Sri Guru. Brahmacharya means, in the 4 ashrams, brahmacharya is the heart of Krishna. Sannyas is the head. The heart filled with courage, the head with intelligence, together they can lead. Then the arms and the legs and the body has purpose. There's no purpose without a heart, and then without the intelligence to follow through with it. So don't think, you have to be brahmachari, I have to be celibate, this and that. Okay, if you can, that's best. If you can't, no problem, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Vaishnavas don't see that. Prabhupada didn't see that. Gurudev didn't see that. He said, you are sadhus. Become who you're supposed to be. Don't chase your anarthas, but become who you're supposed to be. This is in our ashram, what do we say? What could be the saddest thing? Great potential, wasted. In your obituary, it should not be said potential. It should say realized potential. Realized. So we can do that in a very simple way. It's not difficult. Look at your day and figure out how much you can offer to Sri Guru in the best way possible, according to your unique talents, and do it. Buddha Maharaj said this morning, family life isn't samsara, it's Krishna samsara. Mahaprabhu's family line, mostly householders. But who are they? Advaitacharya, Srivas, Srinivasacharya, Acharyas. They're carrying on the line of their spiritual fathers. It's not done with pride, it's done with humility. But it's done. I'll give you one more example. Gurudev said, who is the best example of humility? Best example of humility, you can tell me. Hanuman. Janava wins, of course. Shrimati Radharani Mahaprabhu. But something we can look towards a little bit more possible for us.
Okay, thank you.
Hanuman. He said, Hanuman burnt down Lanka out of his love for Ram. And to help the Lankabasis understand who is Sita and who they're messing with. That was his humility. That was his humility. Oh, I am fallen, I am this is all silly ideas. Krishna doesn't look at that. Sadhu eva samantavya. You are sadhu. Therefore, he says, not only I am saying, Arjuna, you say it. Arjuna, stand up. Like they would say, stand up in class. Krishna said, Arjuna, you stand up. And you say, Konteya pratijaniya name bhakta pranashyati. My devotee never perishes. The devotees are my heart. Who are the devotees? You are the devotees. Why? What is your potential? What is your potential? What is your potential? From the perspective of Radha Krishna and Gurudev, they see your swarup. They want you to reach that swarup. So look at your potential, not your present condition. Look at your potential. So therefore we pray to Srimati Radhika, we pray to Srila Gurudev. I'll give you I want to, give a soothing message at the end. Our temple in Vrindavan, we serve every sadhu, every temple. We had a festival, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, where all the Gaudiya Madhacharyas came. You can see it. People said this was the most beautiful festival for Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada they had ever seen in their life.
Wow.
Our temple, right? You can speak about it.
The video's coming out.
The most beautiful festival honoring all Vaishnavas. In our temple, I've seen from my own eyes how you serve other temples and their gurus and their mission. How we give silver, gold, not metal and cheap things. Every temple I've seen us spend millions of dollars serving other Vaishnavas and Sadhus in places. But we also have some duty to our Father. We also have some duty to our Father. And therefore we should boldly serve that.
We have like another 40 minutes.
We'll have some discussion. Anyone? Question, answers? The soothing message is, look, genuinely we are non-sectarian. Not by words, but by action. So I said I wasn't going to speak about myself, but I'll speak about our devotees in our ashram, our temple, in New York. We host festivals for all Vaishnavas. We honor all Vaishnavas, but we serve our Gurudev. Both works simultaneously. We are not going to create that thing where, you're not in my group, you're not in my family, you don't come. We're all in the family of Mahaprabhu. Gaura Bhaktivinoda is for everyone. But we are unique. That branch, someone's going to cut off the branch of Gurudev, stunt the growth of Gurudev's branch. That's part of the tree of Mahaprabhu. Why are you going to attacking one part of the tree is attacking the whole tree? We are all in that tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's family line. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes the Nityananda Parivar, the Gadadhar Parivar, all the Parivars, the Dvaita Parivar. We're all in that one eternal tree, but new branches and new twigs and new leaves are always coming because it's eternally present. An eternally present tree is ever evolving. So if someone attacks the branch, a tree, then they're our friend. What do we say? Neglect. Apeksha. Shrimati Radhika's group, Swapaksha. Tatashta Suhrit Vipaksha. Offer pranam from a distance. Honor all, serve all, love all. Genuinely with love and affection. No agenda. When Srila Gurudev came to the West, that's why I'm telling you to be lions. Lions only have something to give. They don't need anything from anyone. You need them. We need Gurudev. That's what we heard from Siddhanta Maharaj. Brahmanda Tirite Shakti Dhare Jane Jane. One pure devotee can liberate the entire universe. But they collect us, they give us service, and by doing this, they make us like them. So I want to touch on the Srila Swami Prabhupada. People say, no. How can you call him Srila Prabhupada? It's not good. Srila Prabhupada is not good. Srila Prabhupada. Oh, only Srila Prabhupada. The son has the title of the father, who fulfills the heart's desire of the father. So you should respect the son. Disrespect to the son is disrespect to the father. Gurudev said, if a dog comes to my door from Srila Swami Prabhupada, I respect that dog. Like, appropriately, we heard this the other night in the class. Appropriately, but respect comes first. Oh, you're all useless people. I'm Acharya. Listen to me. This is my false ego. You're all sadhus. Assembly of sadhus. Srimad Bhagavatam, Sonaka Rishi, Sanak Sanatan, who is listening to Harikatha? You think ordinary people can hear this kind of Katha Gurudev spoke in New Braj? What Gurudev spoke in New Braj, ordinary people can hear. Not a chance. Ordinary people can reveal Gurudev. When you would do the plays for Gurudev, right? What would Gurudev say? Gurudev himself would weep. Gurudev himself would weep. And he would say, I listened to the lecture. He was speaking to Nanda Gopal, my father. How have they done this drama play? What did he say? Remember, Gurudev was like, how are they doing this? How do they know my mood, my heart? Mahaprabhu said, how did Rupa know my heart? Rupa's special quality, Rupa Goswami's special quality was that he could reveal the heart of Mahaprabhu to the world. You can do that. What?
He said they must have something, otherwise they could not share these moods in the drama.
Yes? You can do it as a fake actor? No. You're not actors. You're not acting. You're living your love and your belief. You're sadhu. You're sadhu. New Braj, very special place. We'll go to question and answers. But when I was speaking with my father, Nigopal Prabhu, and that devotee yesterday, how can we have the 126th annual New Braj festival? Tell me that. As kittens and mice or as lions? Gurudev would say, in Kartik, I see mostly same faces. I want to see new faces. Society, generation runs on with children. No children, society's over. Spiritual father wants spiritual children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. So how are we going to have the 126th annual New Braj Festival without Gurudev's great-great-great-great-grandchildren living here? How are you going to do it? Not possible. Your school is to train people to carry on